What's up guys, I hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to another video. So today I want to be talking about what you can expect when releasing your first app. I'm just going to give you the straight out, no BS truth from my experience obviously, and from a lot of other developers that I know that have released their first app. So before I get into the video, I want to tell you guys a little story. So back in my college days, I had a job selling water coolers. You know, these water coolers with the bottles on top that you see in offices. I used to sell those as a part-time job.
And that's what I call high quality tools.
Oh! And one weekend I was working at an expo where we set up and people would come and check out what we had to offer, and my boss left me kind of in charge for a little bit. And while I was sitting at the booth, this guy came in and he was like, I want 10 of these, 20 of these, and he ordered literally thousands of dollars worth of stuff. And to my surprise, I was so over the moon excited because I would have been getting a huge commission on that order. And I ran to my boss and I told him the good news, and we kind of like hopped around, and in my mind I was already spending the money that I was going to make. I knew which holiday I was going to go on, what I was going to buy. And so later that week we delivered the order to this guy in his garage. He opened it up, we unpacked everything, and my boss shook his hands because the guy actually asked if he could pay in a week's time just to get his finances, and my boss was a really good guy and he was like, sure, no problem. As soon as we got back to the office, all smiles and happiness, the receptionist, she told my boss, said, listen here, I was just reading this article. It was a local news article about some scammer who went around scamming different businesses. Obviously he was not able to pay the vendors, and it was this guy that approached me at the expo. And needless to say, we rushed, got into my boss's truck, we rushed and we picked up everything, and my whole world just came crashing down because all my commission just disintegrated in front of my very eyes. And you might be asking, why the hell am I telling you guys this story, and what does it have to do with releasing apps? Well, basically the moral of the story is don't count your chickens before they hatch. And the reason why I told you guys about this story is that I know from personal experience and from other people, other developers, the story is the same. We always have high expectations when we're releasing our first app, and it's just something inbuilt. Maybe it's a deep sense of entitlement. I don't know the psychology, but we always go in with this huge optimism. And like I said, I'm going to tell you in this video the honest truth. Your first app is going to tank and you'll probably make $0. This is just because you have no experience. You don't know what the hell you are doing. You just have an idea. You're hoping for the best. I've seen the most meticulous of people come to me with their plans for an app, and they've got everything on a spreadsheet and the numbers look amazing, and they're like, okay, if we can get this cost per user, it's going to result in this ROI, and everything down to the last year, and even those apps fail. And it's just something because you lack experience. And it was the same for me. The first app, the game I released, it didn't make a single cent, and I put a lot of effort into it. I spent a decent amount of money for me at the time, and it was just simply because I had no experience. I had no guidance. I didn't know what the hell I was actually doing. So that's why I'm making this video, is because if you want to get into the space, I want to give you a bit of caution in the beginning. Don't mortgage your freaking house or quit your job.
You see this? I quit.
When you have an app idea and you want to make this app idea. In fact, it should be the opposite. Your first one should be very lean. You shouldn't spend a lot of money on it. You should release as quickly as possible, because when you actually release that first app, you learn so much. You're on a big learning curve, and there are so many like unforeseen factors that you haven't factored into your vision of making millions of dollars in your first app. So there's so many problems you have to solve before eventually you can start making money. And also, don't go into releasing your first app with the sole motivation of only making it because you want to create money. It doesn't work like that. You have to create value, and the money only comes when people perceive that your app has value and they're willing to spend money in it to acquire that value. So you have to go in with the mindset of, what problem am I trying to solve? How can I make the end user's life a little bit easier? For me, it was games, and obviously to make money, people would have had to be entertained with the apps that I released. So they would have had to enjoy the game, maybe pass some time, win some prizes inside of the game. So I had to provide some value, and that took me a while to understand. So it was only until then that the money started coming in. When you give value, they give value back in terms of money in your bank account. So yeah, it's good to be optimistic sometimes, but just set your expectations, because in the beginning, if you don't have someone guiding you, for example, I've worked with clients before releasing their first games, and the only reason why their games were able to succeed is because of the years of experience and me holding their hand and guiding them. So yeah, unless you have like someone guiding you, or you have infinite money just to waste, then I suggest you start very small. You learn as quickly as you can, and then you take those learnings and apply it into your next update or your next app, because by then you'll understand what the audience really wants from you, and you can deliver that, and then they can deliver the money into your bank account. So that's how it works. You never know. You can plan as much as you want, but I always say, and this is one of my favorite quotes, it goes something like this: always hope for the best, prepare for the worst, and expect everything in between. And those are words to live by, not just in app development, but everything in your life. So yeah, always hope for the best, prepare for the worst, and expect everything in between. When I first started my game studio, I used to create games, and it was actually funny because I spent on certain games a lot of money. At the time, I mean, I didn't have a lot of money, but the money I did have, I put them into games that I thought people wanted to play, and I thought, okay, this is the one that's gonna make it, and they always kind of failed. And then it's a funny thing is, because my top grossing app at the moment, this app makes 6 figures a year on its own, and that started off as a $20 template, and I had no idea. It was just kind of on a whim. I decided to create this game, and it did really well. It way exceeded my expectations, and I had no idea. I kind of wrote that game off in my mind, but it actually now to this day is my highest earner. So you just never know in the space. So just start off small. Don't invest all of your savings into something, especially the quickest way to lose money is invest in something you don't understand. So understand how it works first, what you need to deliver, and that way you will have a much better chance at success. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If it's your first time releasing an app, I hope you take this message and apply it. Don't start off too big, start off small, and figure out what you're doing. So if you guys enjoyed it, if you did, smash the like button, subscribe if you want to see more of this content. I will see you on the next one. Stay safe and peace out.